because Diddy was taught how to do what he does systematically, and Clive Davis has been his greatest teacher.
Greatest.
Look, Clive Davis is not here to respond to that, nor is Jay-Z.
Jaguar Wright, she lets her opinions be heard. And she's been doing this for the last couple years with impunity, I guess. Because, you know, you can always say stuff in the black community, but it's when you get out there and tell massa. She called up Piers Morgan,
Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Sean Combs.
Steen.
Radius from the uncovering of his alleged offences could yet swallow many more powerful and famous figures. Diddy is accused of creating a criminal enterprise which engaged in sex trafficking, racketeering, kidnapping, bribery, and forced labour.
God damn. And forced labor? You got a little slave and shit?
Say he'll fight the charges, but after the testimony you're about to hear, you'll be staggered he avoided the attention of law enforcement for so long. I'll speak to a lawyer, a whistleblower, and an insider.
Jaguar Wright look like Bam Bam Bigelow. She's like a professional wrestler. She got words in her hair.
For an uncensored insight into the showbiz scandal of a generation. And Jaguar, I'm going to start with you. You've been called a whistleblower. You knew Sean Diddy Combs for a long time. You attended a number of his infamous parties. And in 2022, you made headlines after comments where you called him a sex trafficker. And in response, you were called crazy and jealous. Do you feel vindicated by the events of the last few weeks?
No, not at all. Because he's just the beginning. Until him and his cohorts are all held to account publicly and legally, the victims, they're not safe.
How bad was it?
That's what I care about. I care about the victims.
No, I understand. How bad was it, do you think, what was going on?
I'm going to tell you right now that me, as a woman who has been in the industry for over 30 years, I've been performing live since I was 13. My first handler was McKinley Horton. I come to find out 25 years later that a scar that was on his face with a very elaborate story he gave me was put there by a woman who he assaulted. To live through these things and hear your elders in the business, people like Patti LaBelle say, just avoid him, honey. It's not good enough. Not when you live through these things, you're still suffering the PTSD created by all of this, and you're talking to a victim that's 20 years younger than you, and she's telling you the exact same thing that happened to you. So you want to know why there's no vindication for me? Because for 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters.
Ooh.
And the victim-making machine kept going on.
Ooh.
Jay-Z has been notable by his silence.
Jay-Z has been notable by his silence. Been saying this, but to black people only, and you know they let you get away with that shit. As long as it's saying nigga land, they don't care. Just keep it around your people. You know, you work it out amongst yourselves. I don't know how you guys handle. I don't know. I'm not making assumptions about how other people feel, but I do know that black media and traditional white media rarely intersect.
Charges were brought against Diddy. Why do you think that is?
Because that's what he does. He starts little fires everywhere, forces everyone involved to go and carry water while he sneaks away without a response. That changes now, Sean. You must respond. You have no choice. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly,
Steen,
Sean Combs,
Steen,
have one person in common, professionally and privately. Sean Carter.
Damn, try to drop the hammer down. I mean, I'm sure they have more people in common than just Jay-Z.
This has been a fist of tyranny that has been punching through our culture and our society for decades. It must stop.
There's been obviously a lot of
cruelty-free artistry.
Right. There's been a lot of rumor mill about what has happened in the rap world. A lot of allegations that the misogyny in the lyrics clearly was based on a general misogyny towards women away from the music. And that clearly seems to have been borne out by these charges against Diddy, which if he's found guilty of all this, he's never coming out of prison. How dangerous do you think?
Thank God.
How dangerous do you think he is as a person?
I think he's one of the most dangerous people I've ever met. A lot of people have been questioning, well, she doesn't really know him. She has no knowledge of him. She doesn't have a picture with him. I'm smarter than Claudia Jordan. I would never take a picture with the devil.
Oh, wow, she heating up. That's a little swipe at Claudia Jordan.
Everyone knew he was the devil. He's been
Allegedly. Those are all allegations, things that I've heard. I don't know.
the devil for 30 years. He's been covered and protected by not only Clive Davis, but Lucien Grange.
Whoa, we talking big business now.
He was selected to be the demon that he is to keep the culture in line so the industry could continue to rape it for all of its precious jewels.
True.
We have too many lost. The list of lost is ridiculous. And everyone knows Diddy was selected for this job.
I bet she smell like cocoa butter. Like, what kind of moisturizer you think? Be quiet. Okay.
He's the Judas.
Do you think that if he's cornered in the way that he's been now, that he may start revealing things about other people?
He has no choice. His
He has no choice. She's a great storyteller.
ego and his drug addiction won't allow him to do anything different. Anybody who thinks he's not going to talk is crazy.
There are arguments that he's talking already. That's part of the reason he was allowed to move on as long as he did. Allegedly.
The simple fact that he's not saying more now only means that the people who have been protecting him all along, who put him in position to be such a horror to the black community, still find value in him. He's got everybody on tape. They all know it. It's a mess.
Like,
See, this is the thing. Everything that I'm about to say to you is not my firsthand knowledge. It is my firsthand witness account experience. I was a sex worker. I was a dominatrix before I got my record deal. That's how I know how the dark world and the sex world and the entertainment world run hand in hand. That's why the movie Blink Twice is so important. Salute to Zoe Kravitz.
Let's blink twice. I ain't watched that yet.
The sex workers that I have worked with throughout the years and continue to work with even to this day have.
Is the dominatrix a sex worker though?
I was a dominatrix.
Like, you wear boots and stuff and kick people in the balls. Like, that's like, you know, that's like a meter maid or something. That's like you like a public defender or something. You work for the city. Like, that's not a sex worker. That's a regular worker.
Born hidden cameras. I have my own tapes.
You do.
I've seen what they do. The ritualistic behaviors,
True.
the drugging, putting girls in the suitcases. It's horrifying.
I mean, like living.
And it's all done. This is going to be paid.
Hold on, like just in the suitcase because he was small enough to fit in there, or like because like is that she never seems to run out of stories. And you can't argue that you're still around these people right now. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing freaky around you now. So how do you have unlimited stories?
The sex workers that I have worked with throughout the years and continue to work with even to this day have worn hidden cameras. I have my own tapes. I've seen what they do.
So she got counter tapes. She's a counter stripper. It's like a stripper espionage. It's like freaky espionage. You trying to freak the freaker to find out who they freaking with to freak them back. She is a great storyteller. Let me tell you, she remind me of my mother giving the last conversation before she whipped your ass. Back. Don't cut his dick off, dog.